Hello and welcome back to, or welcome to my channel. I guess that my sort of credentials for this video is that I crochet full-time and I design my own crochet pieces. So here on my channel you will find a lot of different crochet tutorials. I have essentially made a career off of finding pictures on Pinterest and then crocheting it into my own version of that design. I'm going to share with you now most of my tips and tricks on how to do this, kind of the general process, how I take a picture that I find on Pinterest or an idea I have in my head, and then how I break it down into an actual crochet piece. Now I am going to specifically talk about clothing in this video because that's what I do the most often, but you can do this with like home decor, stuffed animals, really anything you want to make. You can just kind of break it down with these components and then crochet it. So first off, I will just say you do want a basic knowledge of crochet before you start doing this. I'd recommend that you of course learn like the basic chain stitch, single crochet, double crochet might come in handy, but just have a general knowledge of crochet, what those stitches look like, and have some kind of problem-solving skills set in place already where you can look at your piece and kind of determine what you need to do differently. So I would say practice crochet, maybe follow some tutorials or some patterns first before you dive right into the freehand stuff. So once you have that basic knowledge of crochet, the next thing you're going to do is find what it is you want to crochet. Sometimes I will just take a straight up photo that I have found online and I think I want to make exactly that, and then I figure out how to make it. But most of the time what I do is I kind of curate a board, like a mood board of my style. So anytime I think anything is cute, whether it's a picture of something that's already a crochet piece I want to replicate, or if it's not crochet and it's just a plain fabric t-shirt that I want to crochet a version of, I save those all into my Pinterest board, and then when I'm ready to create, I often will scroll through that and I'll take bits and pieces of each pin and kind of sandwich them together to make the piece I want to make. So I will just have an entire board of, let's say, like a bunch of tank tops I think are cute, and then I saved a dress with some kind of ruffles on it. So when I go to make my own piece, I kind of look at that, I see what my style is, and I decide I'm going to mix these together and I'm going to make a tank top with these ruffles sort of at the bottom of the tank top, and I sort of just combine it together. So it's a really good idea to spend time on Pinterest and become familiar with what your style is, what kind of things you actually want to wear. So then once you have your personal style sort of curated and you know exactly what it is that you want to make, you're then going to go ahead and jump into figuring out the details. This is going to be what kind of stitch you want to use and what kind of yarn you want to use. Now this is really going to differ depending on personal preference. For most just standard clothing, I would recommend doing a weight 4 cotton yarn. I do find that weight 4 yarn works best for just basic crochet. So anything weight 4 and like a 5mm crochet hook is going to get you that sort of standard crochet look. But then you can kind of play around with that. If you want a really loose, airy look, then you want to go for thinner yarn and a thicker hook, and then maybe more of like a mohair blend. But just play around with it, figure out what kind of yarns you like best, what yarns you like the feel of. You don't want it to be really itchy or scratchy. I think acrylic yarn works just fine. I have found that the brand, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, is the acrylic yarn that in my opinion is actually very soft, where other acrylic yarn I do find to be quite scratchy and uncomfortable. So just keep that in mind too, that there might be different brands you prefer over other brands when you're picking out your yarn. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick out what kind of yarn you want to use for that project, and you can do any kind of research to figure that out. Then you're going to pick out the stitch you want to use, and you do not need to limit yourself to just one stitch. A lot of pieces that I crochet, I will do one stitch for most of it and then I'll go in with like a detailed stitch, so you do not need to limit yourself to one stitch. So like a single crochet, half double crochet, and treble crochet are kind of the standard, and they all are really good for different things. So if you're not familiar with these stitches yet, I would make yourself familiar with them before you kind of jump into this project. That way you know what it is you want to do most. There's also like detail stitches if you want puff stitches, if you want flower stitches. You can really just search up on YouTube like the best stitches to use for crochet, or just look up different detailed stitch ideas. I have a video I posted of my most common stitches that I use for most of my designs. So you can also do like mesh crochet. There are so many different stitches. And before you jump into the project, you want to have a general idea of what kind of stitch you want to do. For the longest time when I crocheted clothing, I typically would do single crochet because I want that full coverage look. But recently I've been switching over to linked double crochet, which is a much more lightweight stitch that still is full coverage with no gaps in it. However, double crochet is great. It just has a lot of gaps. Treble crochet has a lot of gaps, but those are really nice for loose, airy tops. I made a slouchy sweater, which is one of my favorite designs, and I did that with all treble crochet, which just makes it so much more flowy. So you also want to think about the flowiness of the stitch. Kind of the bigger the holes of the stitch, the more flowy it is, and then the smaller the hole, the tighter it is. So just take a second to study the different kind of stitches, look at the kind of top or outfit you're trying to make, and just decide for yourself what kind of stitch it is that you want to do. So once you have your yarn type and your stitch type figured out, we can now go ahead and break our design into individual pieces so we know exactly how we're going to make this. Now this is the step that's going to be a little bit tricky to explain because it's going to be different for every single design, and you just have to practice you just have to practice this one. Typically what I do is I figure out what I want to make. So let's say I want to make a tank top with ruffles. So what I would do is I would think about, okay, do I want to make this tank top in one panel, like it's one tube, and then I add the straps? Do I want to make it in two separate panels and then attach them? Do I want to make it from the top down? There's a couple different ways you can crochet these things, and all of them have pros or cons. So really the more you crochet, the more familiar you will become with all of those things. Like if you follow some other people's patterns or tutorials, you'll start to learn what you do and don't like in your clothing. I typically like to do a front and a back panel and then attach them. I think that just gives the piece a lot more shape. You have a lot more control over it. I would actually highly recommend, if you're in doubt, to just separate the tank top or whatever you're making into two panels, and you make two identical panels of like the entire front of the shirt with the straps, and then you make the exact same thing and you slip stitch along the sides, and then you just have a completed shirt. That's a lot easier, especially if you're trying to get the measurements just right, where if you're making more of a tube top, it can be difficult to get the measurements correctly. You just want to look at the piece, the picture of the piece you want to make, and you can look at even the seams that they have on the piece itself. Sometimes I will watch videos about sewing, like not even crochet, but just sewing videos, so that way I can sort of visualize actually how these clothing pieces are typically put together, and then I can use my knowledge of that and then implement it into crochet videos. But basically, long story short, you just want to look at the piece you want to make and you want to visualize it as essentially a bunch of rectangles or as a bunch of pieces of fabric, and then you just want to crochet that fabric essentially and then sew the fabric together. So you could even, again, going back to the sewing thing, you could look up like a pattern for something, like a pattern for a t-shirt, and then you can see the kind of shape of the fabric that they cut out for the t-shirt, and then you know that you want to crochet something in that shape. Essentially, you just kind of look at what all makes up the piece you want to make, and then you can sketch it out, write it down, or just memorize it, what sort of pieces you need to make individually to then put together to make the one big piece that you're trying to make. And at this point, when I'm working on breaking the design up into pieces, but right before I start crocheting, I do like to reflect a second and decide if there's anything I want to change, especially if I am sort of copying a photo from Pinterest, and especially if you're trying to replicate something that's not a crochet item. Like if you're trying to make a t-shirt that's a normal fabric t-shirt but you're making it crochet, do keep in mind that crochet and fabric is a little bit different, and there are some things you may need to change. Like if you want to make a really form-fitting top, you do need to think about how stretchy crochet is and the fact that crochet doesn't have a lot of stretch to the material. So then you may want to consider adding a lace-up back, or one of my favorite things recently is adding the elastic stitch to the back, just to have an extra stretch and material that will actually kind of hug your figure more. You also want to take into consideration the fact that most crochet is see-through, so if you're making something that you don't want to wear a tank top or something underneath, I would recommend looking for stitches that aren't see-through, which would be like single crochet and linked double crochet. So just keep that in mind as well. Like you're making something out of double crochet, you are going to be able to see through it just a little bit, and if that's not something you want, then consider switching over to a different stitch. So you just need to quickly accommodate slightly for the fact we are working with crochet and not fabric. So once you've done that, now we can go ahead and get measurements. So my main thing for measurements is I do recommend doing a gauge swatch, which if you don't know what that is, essentially what you do is you take your yarn that you're going to use, you take the hook that you're planning on using, and you make a little swatch where you chain 10 and then do a couple of rows in that, so you just get a little like square of crochet. And then what you do is you measure that little square. So let's say it's like 2 inches. So then you know that every chain 10 chunk is 2 inches long. So if you want to make a panel that's like 8 inches long, you then then know how many to chain off of that. So I do highly recommend doing that, especially if you don't crochet a lot of clothing or you're not familiar with sort of your tension or the kind of yarn you're using. It makes it so much easier if you're trying to get the measurements just right. I also recommend using clothes you already have in your closet. Especially when I first started out with this, I found that to be so helpful, where if I wanted to make a sweater, I would find a sweater in my closet that I already liked the fit of, and I would lay it flat on my floor, and then I would measure the panels of that sweater. So I figured out how many inches across like the front of the sweater is, and then I knew using my gauge swatch how many chains I wanted to get it to fit that measurement. And if you plan on making a lot of clothes, I do recommend that you just keep a little notebook of all of your measurements. I really want to do this because I crochet clothing all the time and I still don't have one, but I think it would be really helpful to have a little notebook of being like, if I chain 94, that's oversized. If I chain 80 something, that's a normal fit. If I chain 70 something, that's a like tight fit. So then if you're making other pieces, you can kind of reference off of that and you don't have to do the measuring every single time. And then once you have all of that figured out, you can then go ahead and begin crocheting your piece. So to recap, before you start crocheting, what you want to do is you first want to figure out what you want to make. Find your style, get your inspiration. What do you want to actually crochet? Then you want to pick your stitch and your yarn type, and then you want to take the piece you want to make and sort of break it into chunks or pieces so you have a general idea of what you want to crochet individually, like the panels you're going to make before you sew it all together. Then you want to decide as you're doing that if there's anything you want to alter, taking in mind the fact that crochet is not very forgiving and sometimes you may want to add lace ups or elastic stitches, things that help hug the figure a little bit better. Then you're going to go ahead and get all the measurements figured out, do a gauge swatch if you need to, measure clothing you already have if you need to, and just figure out exactly how much you want to chain for each piece, and then you are good to go. My main tips when you're actually freehanding the piece is, first of all, if you are making two separate panels, like a front and a back panel, write down in a notebook or on your phone all of the numbers of what you're doing for the first panel. So if you're like chaining 70 and doing 50 rows, write that down so you don't have to remember it, and then when you make that second panel you can make it identical. And then the other thing is, if you are uncertain about how to do a certain thing you want for your piece, just look it up. All the time I use patterns or tutorials in just little chunks and then add it to my design, if that makes sense. So for instance, if I was making like a long sleeve shirt and then I think it would be so fun if this was a bell sleeve, and I think about it and I think about it and like, I just don't know how to crochet a bell sleeve. I then would look up a tutorial for bell sleeve, long sleeve top. And I don't follow the tutorial exactly because I'm making my own design, but I'll just look for the chunk where the person is actually making the bell sleeve, and I'll take that little bit of knowledge on how to do a bell sleeve and then I add it to my design. So this is a really easy way to then be able to make your own original designs without having to follow a tutorial if you want to make something completely unique. But if you don't quite have the skill set for all of it, you can kind of search the certain skills that you need for the piece and then accumulate them all together to make your own original design. I really hope that you found this to be helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. I'll do my very best to get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. If you like crochet tutorials, I've got a whole bunch here on this channel if you want to subscribe and just check them out. Like this video if you did enjoy it. Otherwise, I will see you again very soon with another crochet video. I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful, and blessed couple of days until I see you again soon. Goodbye.